Dan is the founder and CEO of Graft.Network. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome Mr. Dan Itkis.
Everybody set their coffee break? Little fix? Good to go. So let's talk about what Graft is. So Graft is meaning of Graft is you take two plants and you splice them together. And you end up with one plant. So that's essentially what we're doing. We're taking one plant, the old system of payments, with payment processors, point of sale vendors, payment gateways, credit cards, and we're splicing that with the new way, which is cryptocurrency. So that's Graft. So it's no secret the value of cryptocurrency has blown up. Actually, that number is no longer valid. It's up to almost $1 trillion today. So it's blowing up. The question is it worth squat, right? And in order for this to be worth anything, it has to be liquid. And liquidity comes from one or two things, as I'm sure you all know. Exchanges and transactions. Can I see a show of hands of how many people own cryptocurrency? And when was the last time you were able to spend that cryptocurrency at the point of sale? At the store, convenience store, buying things. Yeah, there is a reason for that. Cryptocurrencies are not designed for point of sale. Historically, several reasons. Long processing times. We all know a Bitcoin transaction, Ether transaction, takes anywhere from 10 minutes to hours. And the worst thing is it's unpredictable. So you never know how much time it's actually going to take. Costs are also unpredictable, and they're through the roof. Bitcoin transactions were at $30 a couple of weeks ago. $30 per transaction. You're buying a $2 cup of coffee or $1 cup of coffee, you can't use it. Microtransactions, it's a non-starter. Direction of the fees, who pays the fees? Right? Today, it's the buyer who pays the fees, and it's fine when you have a two-person transaction, a person-to-person transaction. But if it's a merchant transaction, it doesn't work that way. Buyers are not supposed to pay the fee. It's the seller, the merchant, who's supposed to pay the fee. And people are just not used to dealing with small fractions. 0.0001 of a Bitcoin, it's not a number that people are used to operating with. So what Graft's main purpose in life is to make cryptocurrency work at the point of sale, like the merchant is used to. So they have their processes, they have their ways, the POSs are set up a certain way, the staff at the restaurant is trained to work a certain way. So it has to work with the old system that's there today. You can't change the system overnight. So the main things we're doing to enable that, accept the cryptocurrency, enable instant confirmations. All the merchants, most of the merchants, want to have immediate payouts, instant payouts in fiat, because they don't know if they can or cannot deal with cryptocurrency, regulatory-based, other considerations. So they should have a choice of taking a payout in every transaction, or at least once a day in fiat. And finally, it should work with equipment they already have. They have the terminals, they have the POSs. They can't change the equipment overnight, so it has to work with infrastructure they already have. So what is Graft? So Graft is a blockchain. We're a fork of Monero, but we've taken the foundation and we've built it up to be the solution for the point of sale, the cryptocurrency that is ideally suited for the point of sale. And that requires, a lot of people are approaching this problem from the user side. Like, I'm going to give you another card that's going to be tied to maybe your Bitcoin wallet. Maybe you can load it up from a Bitcoin. But it's kind of a band-aid approach. It's a pretend approach. We're saying, first we have to consider the merchant, right? Because the merchant needs to be able to accept the cryptocurrency the way they want to, and it has to be done natively for the merchant. We also have to consider the user. For the user, it has to be super convenient. They have to be able to use their funds. They have to be able to choose at any given point whether they're using crypto or they're using fiat, they're using a card. So the user should have a choice. It should be extremely convenient for the user, but the merchant has to be a big part of the equation, which is almost nobody else is paying attention to the merchant. We are. This is a decentralized network. What that means is we don't control the network. It's like Bitcoin and Ether. It's out there. People install nodes. There are miners. There are super node owners. So network doesn't belong to us. It belongs to the community. We just provide the software, and then the rest of it is taken care of by the ecosystem. And the network itself, as you can see, we have payout brokers, we have exchanges, we have ISVs. These are all entities that exist out there today that link up to the blockchain, that link up to the network. Right? So they participate in the ecosystem. We don't need to go find them necessarily. We need to get the system going, but they will find the system and they will become part of the system. What's the market potential? Think in terms of credit card transactions. You have 400 million transactions happening every day on the credit debit cards. 400 million transactions. This is the market that we're out to partially convert to cryptocurrency, because people want to use cryptocurrency in place of their credit card transactions, debit card transactions. Maybe it's going to be 10%, maybe it's going to be 5%, maybe it's going to be at some point 50%. But this is 400 million transactions a day. It's a huge number. So if you look at available options, there's several types of solutions out there. Again, most of them start and end with the consumer, with the user. Very few of them think about the merchant. The other thing that a lot of people are doing, a lot of our alternative solutions are doing, is they're building it on top of Ethereum. The problem with building on top of Ethereum is you've got a solution on top of another network where you don't control any of the underlying conditions. So you don't control the transaction speed, you don't control the transaction pooling, any of the transaction speeds, you don't control the fees. So you build a solution that's made for payments that's based on another system that's not made for payments. So that's not really a good approach to that. So market distribution, you got to get this into the market somehow, right? And we think there's a lot of incentive built into the system, the whole ecosystem, the whole blockchain, for everybody to be incentivized to get it to a point of adoption. So you have your miners that are part of the system that make money on mining. You have your service brokers that are part of the system that make their money on exchanges or payouts. You have your ISVs, your independent software providers that make their money on software because they can build customized workflows, they can build customized back office systems. So everybody is incentivized, everybody's in the system, everybody is incentivized to do so. So far, where are we at? So we have a running testnet. We are about to launch a mainnet on the 15th. We already have, well, actually the numbers are pretty much double right now. So we have about 1,000 community members. We have about 250 miners ready to go. We have about 200 merchants that are ready to go. We have about 50 partners or so ready to go. And so it's actually, we didn't anticipate how fast this was going to take off. It's actually taken off much faster than we thought. So we have a team Slava, he spent about 20 years in the payment space, in the POS space. He wrote a book on hacking point of sale that's #1 bestseller, widely bestseller. So he knows POS space inside and out. He worked for NCR, he worked for HP on the payment side. I come from Intel and Cisco. I worked on some of the most advanced products for these companies. Was always on the R&D side. So we have an awesome team that's been at it. We know exactly how to build a platform. We know it's a very tech-savvy team. It's a very engineering and science-focused team. So very, very solid team. And we've already accomplished a whole lot. In a short, about a year span of work, we've accomplished a lot. We have an ICO coming up. Starts on the 18th. The market cap on the ICO is going to be, after everything's said and done, and the ICO tokens are sold, it's about $91 million. So compare that to the market cap of Monero, or compare that to the market cap of Dash, which is at $7 or $6 billion. It's more now. So you can get, I don't need to talk about the numbers. You guys are very proficient on the numbers, I'm sure, so you can do the math. Yeah, but we're going to be at about $100 million in market cap once the ICO is done. If we have a little bit more time, we have an awesome community that have put together a video that does a much better job at explaining this than I ever can. So if you have, do we have another 5 minutes to do the video? Okay, let's try that. How do I play the video, do you know? Can somebody fire it up? This is the embedded video. AV, would you please play the video? Dun, 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 dun. Otherwise, we can go to Q&A.
Hello everyone, and welcome to All Things Graft. In today's video, I'll be giving you an overview of the Graft Network. I'll discuss what it is, what it does, and why, in my opinion, it has the potential to launch all major cryptocurrencies to the next level, maybe even mass adoption. Now, before we can begin to recognize Graft's potential, we first need to identify the current problem with almost all cryptocurrencies. I want you to take a moment to think about the last time you used your favorite cryptocurrency to make a purchase. Now, I'm not talking about an online purchase of a mining contract like on Genesis Mining. I mean a real everyday purchase like at a gas station or a grocery store. When was the last time you used your favorite crypto to buy a cup of coffee? Well, if you're like most, probably never. But why is that? Cryptocurrencies have been around for about 9 years now, as of the time of this video, yet we still don't see them being adopted by merchants on a global scale. I mean, sure, there's some merchants that will allow you to purchase some stuff online, but that's really about it. You can't really find many stores accepting Bitcoin or Litecoin for everyday purchases like food or gas. But why? Well, the answer is simple. No matter how awesome we think our favorite cryptocurrency may be, the fact of the matter is, cryptocurrencies are just too slow to be used at point of sale. Bitcoin, for example, has a block time of about 10 minutes, which means you need to wait at least 10 minutes before your transaction gets confirmed by the network. This is of course assuming you get in on the next block. Now let's assume you do get in on the next block, probably after paying a very high network fee just to get ahead of everyone else, and your transaction is confirmed within 10 minutes. Well, now you have to wait for 5 more blocks, or 6 confirmations in total, for your transaction to be considered safe. I don't know about you, but I really don't have the time to be waiting an hour to buy a cup of coffee. Another problem is merchants having to deal with the fact of converting the cryptocurrency they just accepted into their local fiat currency. They'd have to first receive the cryptocurrency into their wallet, then they'd have to send it to an exchange, then convert it to fiat, then withdraw it to their bank account. It's just too much of a hassle. And what about the volatility? We all know how volatile cryptocurrencies are, and asking merchants to take the risk of losing 10, 15, or 20% on the value of the goods they sold on any given day is just unrealistic. Well, that's where Graft comes in. Graft solves all of these problems by giving anyone the ability to accept any major cryptocurrency in real time without having to worry about converting to fiat. This means any merchant will be able to accept cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin or Litecoin, Ether, Dash, or Zem instantly. You won't have to worry about any confirmations. All transactions will be processed within seconds using Graft's instant authorization feature. You also won't have to worry about converting any cryptocurrency to fiat, as Graft will do all the exchanging for you at a frequency you choose. Whether it be as soon as the transaction is processed or at the end of a business day, the choice is yours. Of course, you can also choose to keep the payment you just accepted in cryptocurrency and even exchange it for other cryptocurrencies as well. It would be like having your own mini cryptocurrency exchange on the Graft network. Now, here's one of my favorite features. With Graft, you won't just be able to accept and process cryptocurrency transactions, you'll actually also be able to process debit and credit card transactions too. Meaning merchants will be able to accept any major cryptocurrency as well as debit and credit cards all from a single device, whether it be on a traditional payment terminal or the point of sale app on your phone. With Graft, anyone, not just merchants, will be able to accept any type of payment, whether it be cryptos, debit cards, or credit cards, anywhere at any time. How awesome is that? And the best part is, it's decentralized, so there's no need to put any trust on any intermediaries or middlemen in order to use the Graft network, as it runs on blockchain technology. This, of course, means that the Graft network will have its own native cryptocurrency as well, which in my opinion has some amazing features compared to other cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin or Litecoin. For one, Graft uses the crypto-node protocol. This means all transactions that are processed using GraftCoin are completely private and untraceable. No one will have access to any information except for the parties involved in the transaction. With Bitcoin, anyone can view the record of any transaction, all transactions are traceable, and anyone can see your account balance. With GraftCoin, all of that information is kept private. Even the transaction fee is invisible, which is unlike other cryptocurrencies using the crypto-node protocol. Using GraftCoin as a payment method would be like using cash, only digital. Another great feature is that people using GraftCoin to make a purchase won't ever be responsible for paying any transaction fees. The transaction fees are paid for by the merchant accepting the payment. This is more like how traditional payment methods work. When you buy something using your debit or credit card, the merchant gets charged the processing fee, not the buyer. This is the complete opposite of how cryptocurrencies currently work. They all charge the sender instead of the receiver. Okay, but what if you're just sending money to someone like a friend or family and they're not making a purchase? Well, with GraftCoin, you'll have the option of being able to send friends or family money without either of you paying any transaction fees. Now, of course, there will be some restrictions on this to prevent abuse of the network, but essentially, you'll be able to use GraftCoins to send money to friends or family without paying any transaction fees, similar to using a service like PayPal. Isn't that awesome? Another great feature is that the native GraftCoin wallet won't just be able to hold GraftCoins, but also hold all other major cryptocurrencies as well. This means you can hold all of your favorite cryptocurrencies in one wallet, similar to how you would using the Exodus or Jax multi-cryptocurrency wallets. Now, this feature is necessary as it's how the Graft network will allow for the instant authorization of other cryptocurrencies. You'll first need to transfer the cryptocurrency you intend to use to the Graft wallet before you can use it to make a purchase that can be instantly authorized. Now, don't get me wrong. You'll still be able to use other cryptocurrency wallets to make purchases on the Graft network, but you'll have to wait for your transaction to get confirmed by the network of the cryptocurrency you are using to complete the purchase. Just make sure there's no one behind you at the checkout line. Now, the Graft team realizes that not everyone will be switching to utilize the Graft network overnight. The adoption of the Graft network by merchants will obviously take some time. But for those of you that are already involved in the cryptocurrency space and would like to use their favorite crypto to make purchases, you'll be given the opportunity to do so using the Graft multi-cryptocurrency debit card. Graft will give anyone the ability to spend their favorite major cryptocurrency anywhere Visa is accepted. This feature is similar to what 10x or Monaco cards are currently offering, but unlike them, Graft will also be offering its own decentralized crowd-funded credit cards. This means anyone with a Graft wallet holding funds can become a credit provider, give loans, and earn interest on those loans similar to a bank. With Graft, you'll actually be able to build credit on the blockchain completely decentralized. But wait, what about the merchants? What kind of features does Graft have to offer them? Well, with Graft, merchants will be able to create things like gift certificates, coupons, loyalty rewards programs, and store credit on the blockchain. All of these would be created in minutes using smart contracts and available for use through the Graft wallet and point-of-sale apps. Graft will also be implementing a feature they call VeChain, or virtual blockchain. VeChains, or virtual blockchains, would allow for the creation of a virtual chain of stores so multiple point-of-sale terminals can be connected to the same private virtual blockchain. This means all point-of-sale systems within a large retail chain like, say, Walmart, Costco, Target, or Best Buy would be able to connect and communicate with each other privately on the blockchain. Now, this feature wouldn't just be available to merchants. Regular app users can use VeChains to link multiple wallets so they can manage multiple accounts and move funds between those accounts without paying any fees. This feature would be extremely useful if you wanted to link accounts with your family or link up corporate business accounts within your business. So, in summary, Graft is like a combination of a bunch of different blockchains and services combined into one. Graft is decentralized, similar to how Bitcoin is. Graft is private and untraceable, similar to Monero, since it uses the same protocol. Graft has instant transactions, similar to how Dash does, but unlike Dash, the feature is standard and built in, and it doesn't cost extra to use. Graft is a native multi-cryptocurrency wallet, similar to the Exodus and Jax wallets. Graft offers its own cryptocurrency debit card, just like 10x and Monaco do, as well as a decentralized credit card. Graft allows you to send money to friends and family without any transaction fees, similar to how PayPal does. And finally, with Graft, anyone can process debit and credit card transactions, similar to how Visa and MasterCard processors do. Graft is a combination of some of the best features currently available in various blockchain platforms, with the addition of free money transfers and the processing of debit card, credit cards, and cryptocurrency transactions. These features combined have the potential of launching all major cryptocurrencies to the next level, perhaps even mass adoption. When I first learned about cryptocurrencies, I was very excited when I realized their potential. In my opinion, cryptocurrencies are the future, and if you're watching this video, it's likely you feel the same way. I don't think there will ever be one cryptocurrency that rules them all. I think a lot of cryptocurrencies will have their following, including Graft. The Graft team realizes this.
Sorry, folks, I apologize. I ran over time, but feel free to come up and we'll watch the video again. My apologies to the next presenters if I stole any time from you. But yeah, please join us, participate in ICO, become a partner, get this out. Let's get the cryptocurrency to be used out there.